All right, let's talk about percent composition. So hopefully you have your note packet out and you're ready to take notes from your note packet. Again, if you need to, you can always pause the video, rewind it to go back and relearn a concept if you didn't understand the first time. I encourage you to pause the video if you need to take a moment to talk with the instructor about something so you understand it really well, and encourage you to talk with each other and try the practice problems on your own. So let's go into percent composition. So the percent composition is the percent by mass of each element in a compound. So here's the formula to figure out what the percent composition is for a formula. So the percent composition is equal to the mass of each individual element divided by the total mass of the compound. Then what you do is take that and multiply it by 100. I basically like just think of it as basically kind of like calculating out your grade in a test or a quiz, whatever you got. You're wondering what percentage you got. You basically take the grade you got, divide it by the total grade you could have gotten, and multiply it by 100, and you're going to get the percentage of your contribution to that grade. But let's go ahead and do a practice problem here. So it says here to find the percentage of each element in lead 2 chloride. So here's lead 2 chloride. To do that, first we're going to find the molar mass of lead 2 chloride. So we've talked about how to find molar masses of compounds. You just go on the periodic table and add the individual masses of each element. So I have 1 lead, 2 chlorines. I'm going to add those together from the periodic table and get a total mass of the compound to be 278.1 grams per mole. So this is my total mass of compound from my formula. This is the mass of the entire compound. Now I need to go ahead and find the percent composition of each element in the compound. So let's start with lead. What I'm going to do is go, and I know I have 1 lead, right? So I'm going to take the molar mass of lead on the periodic table, 207.2 grams per mole. Because I only have 1 atom of lead, I'm going to multiply that by 1, and then I'm going to take that and divide it by the total mass of the compound. Afterwards, I'll multiply what I got here by 100, and I'm going to get a percentage, 74.51% of lead. All this is saying is that in my compound here, by mass, almost 75% or 74.51% of that mass of that compound is lead. That's a lot. Look here, I only really have 1 atom of lead and 2 atoms of chlorine, but 74.51% of that compound by mass is lead. Lead's really heavy. It takes a lot of that compound's mass. So let's look at chlorine. You could probably figure out without doing anything else how much chlorine gives to the percentage, but let's go ahead and do the formula. So I'm going to take 35.45 grams per mole, that's the molar mass of 1 chlorine, and I'm going to times that by 2 because in my formula I have 2 atoms of chlorine. After I do that, I'm going to multiply that whole top by the total mass of the compound, 278.1 grams per mole. That's the mass of the entire compound. Afterwards, I'll times this whole thing by 100, and that gives me 25.49% of chlorine, which makes absolute sense because if 74.51% of this compound by mass is lead, the rest of the percent up to 100 should be chlorine. So even though there's 2 chlorine atoms, the chlorine atoms are relatively small and they only take up 25.49% by mass of the entire compound. So see if you can figure this one out. Find the percentage composition of an unknown compound that contains 5.75 grams of sodium and 8.6 grams of chlorine. I recommend pausing the video to see if you can understand how to do this one. If you paused, you're awesome. Let's see if we can check your work. The first step is to determine the total mass of the unknown compound. That's what we're going to need to put in the denominator of our formula. So I'm going to go ahead and take both of those masses and add them together. That's the total mass of the compound of whatever unknown compound that is. Next, let's find the percent of sodium. Well, I know that 5.75 grams of this compound is sodium. It says so in the problem up here. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide it by the total mass of the compound. And then I'll take that whole thing and times it by 100. That gives me 39.4%. So 39.4% of this compound is sodium. Next, let's find chlorine, and again, you can probably figure this out without doing all of the formula, but let's just go ahead and do it anyway. 8.86 grams of chlorine divided by the total mass of the compound, multiply all that by 100, I get 60.6% of the compound is chlorine, which makes sense because both of these added together should equal 100%. So chlorine takes up a lot of the compound. And this compound, chlorine's the heavyweight and takes up 60.6%. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you. Good luck with percent composition. I think you guys will do well. Again, you're always welcome to rewind this video to go back and see if you can figure the things out. Pause, talk with friends, work on the practice problems. Struggling with it is a good thing. It really gets your brain flowing. But talk with your instructor if you guys are struggling too much. All right, have a good one.